Far beyond the stars, in a galaxy full of glittering planets and burning suns, a massive alien starship hovered above a tiny blue planet called Earth. Inside the grand hall of the starship, thousands of aliens of every shape and color gathered, their eyes glowing with amusement as they watched the human colonies through enormous viewing screens. "They are so small, so fragile," one alien sneered, stretching its many arms in laughter. "They call this their prototype civilization? Pathetic," another hissed, pointing at the flickering lights of the first human settlements. The humans below had no idea they were being watched, no idea that their first attempts at building cities, farms, and machines were the subject of cruel jokes. Every structure looked clumsy to the aliens, every vehicle slow, every invention incomplete. Yet, the humans worked with determination, unaware that the eyes of the galaxy were upon them. The alien leaders whispered among themselves, confident in their superiority. "They will never survive long in space," said one, its voice echoing like thunder. "They cannot even handle a small planet. How can they dream of conquering the stars?" The laughter of the aliens filled the hall, a sound so sharp that it seemed to cut through the silence of space itself. They mocked the humans for their thin walls, weak engines, and slow machines, comparing them to the towering empires of the galaxy, which had lasted thousands of years. "Look at them," said a tall, glowing alien, pointing at the humans' farming domes. "They can barely grow food without destroying it." Every alien nodded, their pride swelling with arrogance. No one suspected that beneath the humans' small mistakes, something unusual was growing, something the aliens could not see. Back on Earth, the humans struggled with storms, failing machines, and unpredictable wildlife. Yet, they did not give up. They fixed what was broken, they tried new ideas, they learned faster than anyone could expect. But the aliens laughed even harder, thinking that these small humans were weak and insignificant. "They are nothing," the leader said, turning to the crowd, "mere insects pretending to play with stars." The aliens clapped and cheered, enjoying the thought of watching these humans fail completely. "They will not last a single century," another alien added, "and their stories will be forgotten." Still, deep within the human settlements, strange things began to happen. Machines worked in ways the humans did not yet understand. Small explosions of energy, unusual lights in the skies, and plants growing faster than normal. But the humans ignored them, focused on surviving and learning, unaware that these strange events were the first signs of their hidden potential. The aliens, however, noticed nothing, blinded by arrogance and laughter. They mocked every tiny achievement, every small victory, never imagining that these humans might be learning, adapting, and growing stronger with every attempt. As the aliens laughed, a sense of suspense hung in the air, unseen by them. For every laugh, for every cruel word, the humans below were unknowingly taking steps towards something far greater than the aliens could imagine. The galaxy watched the tiny planet with amusement, but the seeds of revenge and power had already been planted in the hearts of the humans. The aliens thought themselves clever, victorious, unstoppable. But even as they laughed, a faint shimmer of warning crossed the screens, unnoticed. And so, the first chapter of Earth's story ended in mockery, with humans struggling, and aliens laughing, unaware that the real story was only beginning. The aliens had watched Earth for many cycles, their laughter still echoing in the halls of their massive starship. They decided it was time to see the humans more closely, to send scouts to observe every detail. The scouts were sleek, fast, and silent, gliding through the blackness of space with lights brighter than stars. They landed near human settlements, expecting no resistance, certain that the small humans could not challenge them. On Earth, the humans worked under the bright sun and the glowing moon, unaware of the alien scouts hovering above. They repaired machines, tended their farms, and experimented with energy in ways they did not fully understand. A small group of humans noticed strange lights in the sky, but they thought it was part of the weather, or strange storms. No one suspected the truth, that alien eyes were studying every move, mocking their every action. The alien scouts laughed softly to themselves as they moved closer. "They are still clumsy, still weak," one said, its voice like a cold wind. "They cannot even see us, they do not even know we are here." But then something unusual happened. A human machine, a small energy collector, sparked in a strange way. The sparks were tiny, almost invisible, but they created a ripple in space that made the alien scouts pause. They looked at each other, confusion in their glowing eyes. "What is this? How can this be happening?" one whispered, alarm creeping into its voice. The humans, completely unaware of the watchers, continued their work. A small child touched the strange device, and it hummed in a way no human could explain. The alien scouts studied the humans, puzzled. "They are learning faster than expected," one said quietly, almost afraid to admit it. "They are adapting. Something about them is different." For the first time, the aliens felt uncertainty, a feeling they had never known when observing weak species. As days passed, the scouts reported back to their leaders. The leaders laughed at first, refusing to believe the reports. "Humans? Strong? Impossible," they said. But the reports were consistent, detailed, and impossible to ignore. Something small but powerful was happening on Earth, and the aliens could not see the full picture yet. Meanwhile, on Earth, humans began to notice small advantages, small improvements that seemed almost magical. Machines ran longer, energy grew stronger, crops flourished in harsh weather. Yet humans thought it was luck or hard work, not realizing they were creating something far greater than themselves. The alien scouts watched every step, increasingly worried, but they still hid their concern behind laughter. "They are lucky," one said, forcing a chuckle. "Nothing more." Even as the aliens underestimated them, humans continued, learning from every failure. Each mistake became a lesson. Each problem became a new tool. And while the aliens believed they had the upper hand, they unknowingly watched the rise of something unstoppable. The first encounter had begun, not with battle, not with war, but with observation. And in that silence, in that hidden struggle, the seeds of human strength were growing. The aliens thought they were superior, untouchable, unshakable. But the humans, fragile and underestimated, were quietly preparing for a moment the aliens could never imagine. The first encounter ended not with fire or weapons, but with a quiet warning, unnoticed by both sides. The humans had survived, learned, and grown just enough to plant the first seeds of fear in the hearts of the mighty aliens. And so, the story of Earth continued, slowly, silently, but with a power that would soon shake the stars. The alien leaders were growing restless, their pride shaken by reports from the scouts. "They are learning faster than we expected," one said, pacing across the glowing chamber. "Impossible," another hissed. "Humans are weak, fragile, they cannot survive a single assault." Yet every report told the same story. Humans were adapting, improving, and inventing in ways the aliens could not predict. On Earth, humans continued their work, unaware of the watching eyes. They repaired broken machines, designed new engines, and experimented with energy flows. Each small failure taught them something new. Each mistake became a stepping stone. Even children played with devices, accidentally discovering methods that even the most advanced human engineers could not explain. And somehow, these tiny humans were creating advantages that would make even the strongest alien tremble. The aliens watched in disbelief as human machines began to outperform expectations. A small fleet of human drones moved faster than any scout. Energy collectors hummed with a strange, almost alive rhythm. Even the weather seemed to respond strangely to human efforts, crops growing where none should, machines lasting far longer than they should. "They are too clever, too adaptable," muttered a scout, its voice trembling. "They are not just surviving, they are improving." The humans themselves did not know the full power of their creations. They felt only hope, curiosity, and determination. A small team of engineers gathered around a newly designed energy core. "It might work. I think it could protect us if something happens," one said, excitement in her voice. Little did they know, this core would create shields, barriers, and tools the aliens could never anticipate. In the alien halls, fear began to creep into conversations once filled with mockery. "What if they are not just weak?" one asked quietly. The others laughed, trying to cover the doubt, but their eyes betrayed them. The humans' small, unnoticed victories had begun to shake their confidence. Every new invention, every unexpected success, was a tiny blow to alien arrogance. Meanwhile, humans faced hardships too, storms, failing engines, and unpredictable events. But instead of giving up, they adapted, learned, and found solutions no one else had thought of. Even their failures became weapons, teaching them tricks that would be useful in the battles to come. The alien leaders still laughed, but deep inside, a seed of doubt had taken root. "They are nothing, yet everything we see tells a different story," muttered one, staring at the reports. And in that silent fear, the balance of power began to shift. The humans, small and underestimated, had begun to show their first true advantage. It was not raw strength, not massive weapons, but ingenuity, adaptability, and resilience. Every day, every experiment, every tiny success made them stronger, smarter, and more prepared than the aliens could imagine. The aliens had mocked them, laughed at them, and called them weak. But the humans, quietly, steadily, were becoming unstoppable. As the alien scouts reported back yet again, this time with hesitation, the leaders could no longer ignore the truth. Something was happening on Earth that they could not control. And somewhere, deep within human settlements, the seeds of an unstoppable force were growing, ready to surprise the galaxy. The humans had found their advantage. And the story of Earth's rise had only just begun. The alien leaders had grown impatient, their laughter long gone, replaced by worry and tension. "We have underestimated them for too long," one said, pacing across the chamber. "They are small, fragile, and yet, they learn too fast, adapt too quickly." Finally, the decision was made to strike, to show humanity its proper place in the galaxy. Massive ships moved toward Earth, weapons glowing like molten stars, ready to crush the humans once and for all. On Earth, humans were unaware of the approaching threat. They continued their work, inventing, repairing, and learning. But their recent discoveries had prepared them better than anyone could imagine. Energy cores hummed quietly in hidden labs, shields formed around critical areas, and devices glimmered with untapped power. Even the simplest machines now held the potential to surprise the aliens. The first alien attack came swiftly, a fleet of massive ships descending from the sky. They unleashed energy beams, designed to destroy everything in their path. Humans scrambled, but instead of panic, they acted with clarity. Small machines moved to intercept, shields absorbed attacks, and hidden defenses activated. Every strike the aliens made was countered in ways they had never predicted. "What is this? How can they defend so quickly?" One alien yelled in disbelief. Another screamed as one of their massive ships was disabled by a tiny human drone. The humans used simple tricks, clever tactics, and unpredictable moves. What the aliens expected to be an easy victory became a nightmare. Every attack revealed a new human advantage. Every plan was met with unexpected resistance. Even the alien leaders were shocked, their confidence cracking. "They are not weak, they are stronger than we imagined," one whispered, fear creeping into its voice. The humans' ingenuity, resilience, and unity were far beyond the aliens' predictions. Every small invention became a weapon, every human action a surprise. The aliens had mocked them for generations, and now that mockery turned into panic. In the chaos of the battle, humans worked together like never before. Even ordinary people became heroes, using simple tools in extraordinary ways. A child triggered a hidden mechanism that redirected an alien energy beam, saving a city. Engineers rewired devices mid-attack to create shields. Farmers turned machines into decoys, confusing the alien fleet. The humans' creativity and teamwork turned the tide, showing that intelligence and courage could overcome raw power. The aliens realized their empire was crumbling before their eyes. Ships exploded, weapons malfunctioned, and chaos spread across their fleet. What they had thought would be a quick victory turned into a disaster. The humans, small and underestimated, had struck back in ways no one could foresee. And in that moment, the galaxy began to understand that the weak humans were anything but weak. As the dust settled, the alien leaders retreated, their confidence shattered. They had underestimated a species they thought they knew. Humans had survived, defended themselves, and even gained an advantage. The turning point had arrived, and it had come quietly, cleverly, and unexpectedly. Earth was no longer the fragile planet the aliens had mocked. It was the beginning of something far greater, a force that would soon shake the stars. The alien fleet, once proud and unstoppable, now quivered under the unexpected strength of humanity. Commanders shouted orders, but every plan failed, every strike was met with resistance. Ships exploded in brilliant flashes, their hulls shattered by devices the aliens had called primitive. Panic spread across the alien empire, replacing arrogance with fear. They had laughed at humans for centuries, mocked their fragile cities and slow machines. Now, the very species they had scorned was turning their empire into ashes. On Earth, humans watched the skies with determination. They did not celebrate, for they knew the fight was still dangerous. Yet, their confidence had grown, their unity had strengthened. Every invention, every hidden shield, every clever tactic worked together like a single organism. And with each alien failure, humans gained more ground, more hope, more power. The alien leaders realized too late that their arrogance had been their greatest weakness. They underestimated them. Everything wrong, one whispered, its glowing eyes wide with disbelief. The humans' small inventions had multiplied into unstoppable forces. Every fleet, every weapon, every plan of the aliens was undone by intelligence, creativity, and courage. No one could stop the humans now, and the galaxy watched as the empire crumbled. Massive alien ships fell into orbit, their energy cores collapsing. The leaders tried to retreat, but even their escape routes failed. Hidden devices and traps set by humans intercepted them, turning their strength against them. The very technology the aliens had mocked became the instrument of their downfall. They laughed at us, but we survived, whispered a human engineer, watching as the enemy vanished. Humans had turned every weakness into a weapon, every failure into a lesson. The empire that had mocked humanity for centuries was gone in a matter of minutes. Silence returned to the galaxy, but it was not quiet. It was the calm after a storm, the stillness of a world that had survived. Earth had proven that courage, intelligence, and perseverance could defeat even the mightiest. Humans stood together, small but strong, fragile but unstoppable. They had survived ridicule, survived mockery, survived attacks. And now, the universe could no longer ignore them. In the alien ruins, leaders huddled, unable to comprehend their failure. They had thought themselves invincible, untouchable, supreme. Yet humans, tiny and underestimated, had shattered their empire with cleverness, determination, and unity. The story of Earth had begun with mockery, but it ended with triumph. The weak had become strong, the laughed at had become victorious. And as humans looked toward the stars, they knew this was only the beginning. The universe would remember that the prototype of Earth, the fragile humans, had survived. And the galaxy would never laugh at them again.